I think you significantly overestimate my powers.
It's the opposite of Darth Sidious.
It's the opposite.
Of this fully inoperable battle.
This
Fully inoperable.
Yeah, well, it's the opposite because he's the
I
opposite
see.
of Darth Sidious, so it's fully armed and operational. I'll be breakfast show.
That's the intro.
That's the intro
noise.
right there. That's gold.
Right there.
Good morning and welcome to the Hobby Breakfast Show, kicking off your morning with Wargaming Chat. Today I'm joined by Onod.
Hello.
And the Mayor.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing the latest in our army review series. It's Isengard. It's much like Gandalf. It arrived exactly when it meant to. 2 months late.
Definitely not 2 months late.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Cool. So, where should we start? I don't collect Isengard, so I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So I'm probably just going to be sort of riffing and hosting, and these guys are going to be actually explaining what's going on.
I think we should start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start.
Start, as the song says.
As the song says.
So,
what do you need for rules?
You need the rules manual.
Yeah, that's the way the kids start.
You need Armies of Lord of the Rings. You need War in Rohan. And if you want some Legendary Legions and shit, you'll also need Quest the Ringbearer for the Power Gamer's Choice Lurtz's Scouts.
Yeah, you don't strictly need War in Rohan or Quest of the Wing.
The
Wingbearer?
The Wingwearer.
The Wingbearer.
Rattled by a wabble of waddy wibble.
It's Jonathan Ross here.
Oh.
I went there.
Yeah, you didn't need to. That's also really quite niche.
Sue me.
So, them's the books you need.
Them's the rules, literally.
Them's the rules.
So, an overview of Isengard. It's pretty middle of the road in most things. Is my perspective. Like it can kind of do a bit of everything. And yeah, like you're mostly gonna be painting a lot of normal Urukai, unless you want to go down like the Scouts route. There's how many? Does it actually have the most Legendary Legions after Rohan?
Think so.
I'm trying to think what it's got, because it's got Assault on
Oglug, Assault, Wolves of Isengard,
Dunland.
Dunland.
It might actually have the most Legendary Legions.
No,
Maybe.
Most.
Mordor have a lot as well. Actually, no, they don't. They have a good selection, and they're all very different as well. They're all very different, apart from Lurtz's Scouts and Oglug Scouts are probably quite similar.
To be fair, Lurtz's Scouts is different because it's very bad.
Yes, and they're in orcs, which somehow makes it worse. They're as easy or hard as you want to make it to play and collect them. Like, you could just make it really easy for yourself and collect a bunch of warriors and go Assault on Helm's Deep routes, or you could make it easy on yourself and just go for Scouts. But I like that you can collect all these different individual mini factions and also take them all together under one banner if you really wanted to, because you're still collecting from the same force essentially.
And like vanilla Isengard is perfectly legit. Like there's for all the legions and stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with just a generic Isengard army.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about taking a generic Isengard to achieve HL 100 just because I can have access to all of the tools and Crabane, Lurtz, Banner, Bomb if I want, Cav, loads of different types of troops. I can get 5-point warriors that are fearless. Like, there's just so many things you could take. And I like that you can mix it up if you want to, or take the super fluffy route. And also, the like painting level is really interesting. You can make your Isengard look insane. Like, you can spend hours on one model if you want to. Do non-metallic metals all over their armor, go absolutely mad, or just do what I did and spray paint them silver and put a wash on them.
Huge.
Point sweet spot.
Any.
You can take it in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Lots of metal minis though.
Yeah, I think we'll come on to that later, won't we? But
Got lots of plastic too, though.
Yeah.
And actually, like, I guess the advantage is, unlike some Horde army, well, actually, unlike one Horde army in Shire, if you want to like Horde out with lots of Urukai and stuff, they are all at least plastic boxes, which makes them a bit more palatable. And they're relatively, well, actually, I'd say they're elite, and like that means you don't have to buy as many and stuff like that. So it's not.
They're an interesting point where the heroes are probably slightly under average cost, but their troops are slightly over. So you end up with a kind of still quite big numbers.
Yeah,
still fairly all right heroes. They're just not like the big boy levels.
I mean, like the value for points of a lot of them is great. Like Maher's value for points, I think, is like pretty strong. Like I don't know how well he necessarily performs in game, but like for that sort of 60-point named captain type thing, you've got lots of good options.
Competitive.
They be competitive.
They be competitive if you want, or not take. I mean, for some reason, Wolves of Isengard have done quite well. They've actually come quite high in some GBHL events.
You know those wargs?
It's super weird.
It's the wild wargs.
Is there a possibility that wild wargs are actually quite good?
I think they're OP.
No, it's the fact that you have cav models with strength that are basically Urukai moving at 10-inch.
He's so keen to just slam on wild wargs.
It's actually like one of your most recent losses was actually relatively speaking,
True.
I guess.
I think it's the last time he lost was against all wild wargs.
That's not quite true.
That might have actually been the last time I lost. No, we played other tournaments.
We lost at the doubles event to Last Alliance. But they did have like a pretty big allied warg contingent in their Last Alliance list. So.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good. Let's talk then about the army bonus and alliances. They've got a worded army bonus that is not the easiest to initially understand, but it does make sense eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense in game than it does when it's written on paper. Like until you actually like play against it, it doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, it's you basically break at a third rather than half.
Well, you only take courage tests at a third, but you still break
yeah.
The effects of being broken happen at a certain point, but not actually being broken.
Yeah, which is really good, unless you don't have the Isengard keyword. So all of your Warg Riders and Orcs and most of your Dunland won't have that.
Sideways.
Yeah, but it does mean that you can leave a crossbowman back on an objective for a lot longer.
How big a deal is the scouts getting woodland creature?
If you're taking a themed scout list, pretty big.
Useful.
You can hide in woodland with whatever you want, basically.
Yeah.
And if they're marauders moving eight through woodland while your opponent has to go around it, you can really pick and choose your fights.
And also, like, I think it's interesting as a bonus for terrain. I reckon woodland creatures probably one of the better ones, because like you're going to see a lot of woodland on most gaming boards, whereas like the spectral walk that the Army of the Dead have for water, like I mean it's great they have that,
it's a meme, really.
But yeah. And even like Mountain Dweller for dwarves is occasionally useful, I guess, but it's definitely that's the most useful kind, I think. Like anything to do with
woodland creature is definitely the best terrain rule.
Yeah.
Aside to just obviously like models that ignore all terrain.
Yeah.
Like the Spoiders.
Yeah. Alliances, no historical alliances.
Which is how much of an oof is that? Because I was about to say it's a big oof, but I don't actually know how much of an oof it is.
It feels like an oof, but because Isengard have so many tools themselves, it's not like they're desperate for an area of the game they don't have access to. The only thing they don't really have is some pretty hard-hitting named heroes, like between 100 and 150 points would be nice, which is why I think you do sometimes see it with convenient allies. Usually Mordor for some cheap casting, or Serpent Horde having Suladan with his big banner is useful, only because he just seems to be doing really well at the moment. Eastlings, you could ally Easterlings if you wanted to.
Put the Dragon Emperor in there.
Put the Dragon Emperor in there.
A 12-inch banner.
Yeah. So you could ally, but because Isengard has so much of the tools themselves, and they've got legions that give them access to more competitive rules.
It's not crying out for any alliances, is it? Like it's not. No. It's not necessary.
My one gripe, I reckon, or should it? I don't know. I like the fact that I can take bits of Dunland, but I feel like they should have been their own faction, and that you should have to ally them so that they actually
definitely should have been.
Yeah, they should have been their own faction. The Legion is fine because they're not great on their own. But if for whatever reason you wanted to ally some Dunland into Isengard, I think you should have to do it on a, Ironskin or Thryden leading a bunch of dudes with the Crabane, for example. So it's at least more themey. I think the fact that you can just ally in anything feels a bit weird, and they should be historical allies.
That makes sense.
Do you think that they should have been convenient allies with Sharky's rogues?
No, because no, because Isengard's decimated by the time that happens. Sharky's rogues happens after Isengard is no longer a thing, right?
It's kind of happening concurrently in that they turn up.
They have some orcs, don't they? They have some orc-like things, or
like half orcs, don't they?
They have half orcs. So I feel like Sharky's rogues should just be able to take some kind of half orc model. I don't think it should mean that you can convenient ally berserkers in to a Sharky's rogues list or something.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of having half orcs in Sharky's rogues. So that's alliances. So basically, you're just sticking with Isengard for the most part.
Right. Let's talk about heroes.
Yes.
Good lord, that's a lot of metal.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Why? Can you remind me why we have Sharky in? Well, I think we've had the conversation before, but I've forgotten. Why are they there?
Why they're in here? Great question. They were in the Isengard section of the GW website for some reason, so I put them in.
Okay, they're definitely not.
They're definitely not in Isengard, actually. Now I look at it,
but
I don't know why. Is that why you were asking a second ago?
Yeah.
Well, technically he's Saruman, so I don't know if you. Yeah, we're not talking about. Are we going to do a whole video about Sharky's rogues at some point?
I guess we have to.
We'll save that.
They definitely merit one.
We'll save this for that then. So yeah, I'll leave that in there. But
just for maximum confusion. Good.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some of these heroes on the first page? Saruman.
You talk about Saruman. You've used him more than I have.
The big geezer himself. He's astronomically expensive. That's my.
Whoa! I don't think he's astronomically expensive.
Oh, he's so expensive. I'm not saying
you've got to use him so well. He's 190 points with a horse.
I'm not saying he won't always be useful, but he's very expensive.
And you also definitely have to take Grima with him because he's so good, which is like another 25 or 35 points tax. He's basically Thranduil. Like, Thranduil fully upgraded is pretty much Saruman and Grima.
He's very good.
Yes.
He's probably the best or joint first best evil caster, but I think he's a lot more. I think you need more supporting things to get use of him. So the way that I have got use of him is to use him to make my bombs more effective by pulling people into range of a bomb. So really, you might argue that the bomb is having to do quite a lot of work there to then make Saruman worthwhile, but that has won me a couple of games in the few times that I've used Saruman. I've also used Saruman in a disastrous game where it was low points, and he's just too expensive for low points.
What made you think that was a good idea, by the way? Do you just not have any other heroes?
It was either because this is where I built a very strange themed Isengard list, which is mostly orcs because it's meant to be Isengard, the battle between the Ents, because I collect Ents. I don't know if people know that about me.
Well, they won't be able to tell from the screen, will they?
No, they won't. I like Ents. I think we've got a bit of a thing now where I've started editing, and whenever I talk about ends, it just
zooms in on your face.
But
I
anyway,
think it's the thing you've talked about most.
it might be. What? So it was either him or 2 orc captains, and I just couldn't be asked, so I just brought him, and it was a bad decision.
I mean, you fucked yourself over with deployment. Like,
Yeah,
I'm no power gamer who knows everything about the game, but like deploying Saruman very close to the front near like
really
12 angry door. And then you did just give up very quickly. It was quite a sad game, that one, to be honest.
I was still quite happy.
Well, it's also because you started celebrating when the game didn't end.
Didn't Grima actually kill someone?
Grima attacked somebody, killed a warrior of Dale, and then was your only model left on the board.
I think Grima was actually the most effective model in that game.
Yeah, well, you moved the Crabane up, and they lost the combat, and then instantly died.
Anyway,
weirdly, we didn't bother to make a bat rap about that one.
No,
the damnedest thing.
I don't know whether to cut this conversation. We'll probably keep it in just so that people know how shit I am at playing this game. But yeah, I think Saruman is good at a minimum of 600 points.
Yes, I think that's fair.
And I think even then, you really aren't going to take him till maybe 700. But he is very good. He gives you a lot of access to various different things. It's just he is expensive, and you're going to have to know what you're doing to get things back.
I think he's like a less combat-y Gandalf the White. He's a better caster.
He's so
but like
casting. He really you can
really
consistently like uses just free will points to get stuff off.
Sorcerer's on the 4+ as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fact his Compel and Command are 18-inch, aren't they? And like that is just bonkers. Like put him on a horse and he's got such ridiculous threat range.
He good.
He and real good.
Grima, he good.
Grima, real good. Real annoying to deal with.
Yeah. He's fun.
Especially if you convert him onto a horse.
Yes, you could do that. You can also pretend he's a crow.
Yeah, and you can do a fun impression of him.
Which is, I would argue, the best thing about him, actually.
Yeah, I think it's really carried our channel.
It really does, and it's he's just a little crow man.
He really is a little crow man.
He just sits being a colossal douche.
These sculpts are cool. I think these are good sculpts.
They're plastic, they're nice, they go together well, they're great.
How do the metal sculpts compare?
May, you've got Metal Saruman, don't you?
I do have Metal Saruman. He's fine. He's definitely not as good as that one. But I also don't care.
I'm pretty sure I bought you that Metal Saruman as a birthday present.
You might well have, actually. God, that would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Back when we bought each other presents.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know. Back when we actually cared. I'm pretty sure it was.
Jesus wept.
I didn't realise you stopped caring about me.
I never did.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a meme opportunity, isn't it?
It's the end of the Hobby Breakfast, everyone. Okay. Oh. I don't know where that fucking came from. I was just like, we're just going with this. Oh, fuck's sake.
Right, I'm going to pretend that never happened, and I'm still coming to a stag, so...
You're still invited, don't worry.
Onod just won't talk to you the whole time.
It was back in the days where you could buy Metal Saruman on a horse for less than a mounted Rohan Royal Guard. Yes, I linked it in.
Yay, there you go. There's the segue. It's what the people want.
So fucking expensive. Right, so let's talk about Lurtz and Ugluk. Lurtz, he good.
But should be better.
He's your best option.
But he not super strong. He just strong.
I reckon he should at least have 2 will. I mean, he has 1 will. Very sad. At least it's an upgrade from the last edition, because I think Lurtz, out of all the heroes, probably had the biggest buff going from this to this edition of the rules. I forget what he was like in the first one, actually, but I seem to remember he was 60 points, or at least around that, and he was very similar to all the other captains.
I think I have fixed Lurtz Because when we were doing Lurtz's scouts, we came up with like bad ways of making Lurtz better, and we were like talking about how we could like reflect the fact that he's quite fighty, but he's only fight 5. But then it feels wrong to make him too strong. Well, I fixed him, and so you give him a rule where if he's fighting a hero model who has higher fight than him, he gets +1 fight. So when he's up against someone like Aragorn, he's fight 6, but he isn't just flat fight 6. There you go. Fix Lurtz. You're welcome. Games Workshop, if you want to employ me, I don't want to move to Nottingham, but you can freelance me on a part-time basis.
Have you just stolen my rule that I came up with?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because that's very, very similar to one I came up with.
I don't remember the recording, I'm not going to lie. I could have said that myself. We'll go back and find out. I might.
No, we won't.
If I can be bothered. Oh, wait, I'm not editing.
No, you're not.
If Mayor can be bothered, he might insert a clip which either denies or confirms that OT had the idea.
Yeah, I think Lurtz should just be more powerful. I feel like it should be something to do with him fighting like more powerful heroes and like going up against them.
I think that's what they were going with
the challenge, but it doesn't work.
I wanted something to do with like heroic. So like if he's fighting someone in his heroic tier or above, he gets like reroll wounds or something. But I don't.
Yeah, that would be great.
I think Lurtz should be about creating like the buff hero. Yeah. So I think it should be +1 fight on Lurtz, so he goes up to fight 6.
I make this promise if OT did have that idea, I will give him 1 starburst.
Wow.
Right, OT, have a look for it and send it to me. DM
Why
it to me.
Well,
what? You want me to look up the back catalogue?
Do you want that starburst or not?
So that you can get a free thing?
A free starburst? I want,
free is free. What do you want from me?
Right.
So Ugluck's good because he lets you pass courage tests,
and it's also themey. And his model is cool, although it is a little dated, I would say, but it's still cool. Vrasku, he good.
He shoots lots.
I don't understand why he has a crossbow because none of the other scouts do. Maybe he
stole it.
He's got the prototype crossbow.
Maybe you should just have a bow. But there you go. Murher, he makes your boys speedy. That's essentially his purpose, and you might as well take him because he's more points efficient than a captain.
If for some reason you want scouts rather than warriors, then you take Murher.
If you're taking the legendary,
he's got 3 attacks as well.
You take Murher.
Yeah, but 1 less might than the other named heroes.
True.
But you always take him in Lurtz's scouts. He's like,
yeah, definitely. Well, they get free Murher upgrades, don't they?
Yes, they do. That's why he's an auto take.
Gotta go fast.
Sharku.
One of your 2 mounted options.
Yeah, 3. Let's not forget Saruman. Come on now.
Okay.
And Grima. And Thryden.
Oh, yeah.
Thryden was the other one I was referring to.
Grima, I forgot about him. 4 mount. Grima's such a good combat hero on Horse. Sharku is fine.
He's got a random riding dagger rule that won't ever come up.
He's cheap, though. His Legendary Legion is good at very low points.
Yeah.
And as long as you take entirely wargs and no warg riders.
And certain scenarios, it's also good. Big boy Thryden, he has big axe. And he's quite good.
He's very choppy.
Yes. I've heard on the grapevine that he's actually really good and that I should be taking him because...
You used to take him, didn't you?
I took him a few times and I just felt him a bit underwhelming. I think the fact that Mighty Blow never came up for me meant that I felt like I was wasting points on a rule that would never come up, and I'd rather just take a more reliable foot captain like Vrasku. But because he can 2-handed piercing strike, he basically goes to strength 8.
Wow.
So,
quite
I mean, pretty good, especially when you've got knockdown.
Good against bears.
Good against bears. Potentially. I mean, he is Wolfsbane, which is close to Bearbane, I guess.
Bears are famously part of the wolf family. And then we've got Sharky and Worm, who aren't part of this army, so we'll move on. Generic Uruk Captain. They exist.
You're basically only taking them as part of the Legion,
Or if you're playing at such high points that you run out.
What, you're playing like 3,000 points?
Wow, yeah.
It could happen.
It could happen.
It could.
Yeah.
Or
you want to make your leader defense 7 leader. That's the only other reason.
Yeah,
as captain models go, they're pretty good. It's just as we I think we're hinting at, you just have better options in Isengard.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing Assault, then you need.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you could probably, to be honest. Dunland Captain. Is there any reason to take one of these? Like ever, really? Unless
They have an extra point of will.
Yeah.
You're probably only taking them if you're doing the Legion.
But wouldn't you just then take the named one?
Yeah, there are only 4.
Eve.
There are 4 named heroes, so you take those, and then you take the captains, I guess. Plus, the captains are the only ones with March, so you're almost certainly taking them.
I take it back then. OP.
Yeah, you're probably taking them. Also, Shaman, which we skipped over, used to be OP in the old edition because you could give everyone a 5-up feel no pain save.
I remember those days when we linked combats.
Yep.
Fortunately, those days are gone. Thank God.
Yeah. That was a great time going up against Mayor's 5+ saving linking combats Isengard army, in which you very often didn't wound a model and got tabled.
It was good fun.
Simpler times.
Snagger, why is he in Isengard?
Because he's in Scouts.
He's in Ugluk Scouts.
It makes no sense. Why does he have the Isengard keyword though? Because none of the other orcs in that
he's more like an allied Mordor dude, isn't he?
Yeah, none of the other models have the Isengard. He's the only.
He was on loan with option to buy at the end of the season.
Yeah, that very much is.
Performance related.
Yeah.
He's not the best captain.
No.
You might take him in the Legendary Legion, might being the keyword there.
Yeah, he's your last option, essentially.
Yeah. Grishnak, he's not in Isengard, but is for all virtual purposes of when you'd actually take him.
Well, he is in Isengard.
Is he?
Yeah, you can take him just in Isengard, I think.
Can you?
Ooh.
Let me have a look.
Ooh,
where is his profile in the Lord of the Rings book?
I don't
think
that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I'm looking at the army composition.
I guarantee that's getting edited out if Mayor's doing this.
Perhaps I'm wrong, in which case no one will know.
There'll just be a skip to now.
I'm sure you used to be able to take.
We used to link combats. Times have changed for the better. Like
maybe it is just part of the Legion now.
It's part of the Legion, but I don't think you'd ever take him in a Mordor list without.
No, you take him. You wouldn't take him in Mordor, but you definitely take him in Ugly Scouts because he's got strike as well, so and he's got a really good trapping rule.
For all intents and purposes,
Dabbers.
Yeah, it's not from a rules perspective.
They're in spirit.
And Iron Skin is one of the best value heroes in the game. Boom.
I agree.
Controversial statement.
I mean, he's got axes, so he's strength 6 basically. He's a strength 5.
3 heroic defense if you're in combat with a hero.
Yes, which is also very nice considering he's like only defense 5, I think.
Yeah.
I've literally got the book here. I don't know why I'm just.
And isn't he only 2 wounds, 1 fate?
He is. That's his one downside.
He's actually quite squishy to bowfire.
Yeah. Just don't put him at the front.
You're going to take him in a.
These are some high level strats right here.
Dunland. He's 3/1/1. Yeah, so he's fight 5, strength 5, 3 attacks, defense 5. So he's basically Malher, stat line wise, but with the extra might and 3 heroic defenses and axes.
Strike. And he has strike?
Yeah, and strike. And for basically a 10-point difference.
And OT doesn't have an irrational hatred of him, so.
I don't. Oh, I see. It's a racism towards Uruk-hai joke. There's a callback to when nobody listened to our podcast.
Yeah, we'll be re-uploading those anyway, so people will listen.
In slightly lower quality.
Frida, which
you're only taking her in.
Incorrectly on the slide.
Is she? Oh yeah, Freda.
Freda.
Frida, she has a tall spear.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. Unrelated to her nickname, though.
So you're basically only taking her if you're doing a fluffy game against Rohan, or you're taking the Legion.
Yeah. If you're taking the Legion,
her rules are very cavalry centric.
You should definitely take her though in the Legion.
Oh yeah, definitely in the Legion. I mean, three might hero to start with is fine. You're probably dropping her or the Oathmaker in favour of a captain though at low point level because you need the march. But
she's quite high fight, surprisingly. She's fight 5.
Yeah. Is she strength 3?
No, she's strength 4.
What is this inconsistency? This
inconsistent sexism.
Games Workshop has saved gender inequality.
Yep. Then you've got the Wildman Oathmaker.
Just moving instantly on from that.
I don't know whether to cut that because is that.
Hey, leave it in.
Oh yeah, it's getting left in. So the Oathmaker.
It's in no way inoffensive. Sorry, offensive. In no way inoffensive.
Oh Jesus! Offense confirmed.
You must be offended.
I'm triggered. Okay.
He's useful for giving the Isengard keywords to wild men, which might make them useful in a regular Isengard list.
Yes.
Army bonus. Yeah.
I'm considering taking him as part of my 800 point list because he can give friendly Dunland models within 6 fearless, which is amazing. And by giving everyone, or the wild men, the Isengard keyword, you can just sit a 5-point model on an objective and not worry about them running away at the end of the game, potentially. He's got strength, which is basically pointless. He does have fearless, though, which I guess is useful. So as long as he's not running away, none of the other wild men within 6 of him are running away. It's just like a nice little versatility. He is maybe a bit expensive for his stat line, but he's got 3 might, so we'll forgive him.
He's quite good, I think. But I think you have to build around him.
Yeah, or just use him to bulk out your Isengard list so you can take more crossbows.
Yeah. And then finally, last and very much least, the Orc Captain. They exist.
Yeah, you never take him.
Warriors. There's lots. Oh my goodness. 3 fucking pages. Jesus Christ.
Also, I've just seen the Orc Captain again isn't in the Isengard list.
No, but it does say in the list of stuff.
Oh yeah, Orc Warriors, Orc Captain. Oh yeah, of course.
So they don't have the Isengard keyword.
No.
Yeah.
So, yes, Warriors, amazing value for money and points. Mm-hmm. They're very solid stat line. Pretty much everything you need. Fight 4, strength 4, defense 6. What more could you want, really?
And pikes. They have access to pikes and crossbows.
Yeah, we'll come on to crossbows.
Are we doing them separate?
Yes.
Okay. Scouts, they're like warriors, but worse.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking them in a specific army.
Yeah. If you took, you could take bows with Maher and you're moving 4 inches and still shooting, which I guess is nice.
Strength 3 bows is nice. 18 inches is a shame, but they're still good. Berserkers, they're pretty good if expensive.
Money wise or points or both?
Both.
Yeah. I think they're probably worth it. They're definitely worth it in comparison to Feral. They obviously took a slight.
I mean, that's a very, very low bar.
Yeah, they took a slight nerf, and so did the Feral. But the Berserkers felt it a lot more, I think. It used to be that you take loads of Ferals, and they were very expensive on eBay, and I missed out because I should have sold all of mine, but no. I kept them because I was adamant that they'd be fine, and I have since never used them.
You were a sweaty power gamer.
I was a sweaty power gamer. Berserkers are good.
They're out of production, so good luck. I don't like ferals, not gonna lie. Not just from a like.
They're a bit weird, aren't
they? Did we need another sort of berserker?
No, we didn't. They don't need to exist, really. Anyway, moving on. Dunland, you're not taking them unless you're in the Legion.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm not sure about that.
They're just a shitter Uruk-hai warrior.
I think
you might take the Dunlending Horseman.
No, you wouldn't. You'd take a Wild Rider.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, tell me one thing that's better about the horse.
I would.
The sculpts are cooler.
Okay, fair point.
He's done you there.
I can see that.
Checkmate.
They're also way more expensive.
Right, well, you pay a price for cool. Yeah, I agree. I think Dunland are not great.
You might take a wild man though.
Yes,
you might take some wild men. I actually quite like these sculpts.
Yeah, the wild man sculpts quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
But you can whack a two-handed weapon on them and they feel pretty expendable. It's 6 points with a two-handed weapon, isn't it?
Yeah, and because it's a two-handed axe, and you're adding it.
Right.
You're not taking away their normal axe. You don't have to use it, and it makes if you two-handed pierce, you go up to strength 6 basically.
Yeah, which is really good. Are they strength? They're strength 3 base, aren't they? Not strength
3 base, so up to strength 4.
Yeah. Very cool.
Strength
Right.
4 one.
What
elves on 4s.
They were more useful before Crebain existed.
Yeah. I still take a few of them. Like you want one in each warband because, or at least one of those, or a Crebain in each warband. They're slightly cheaper than Crebain. You can turn them into 2 models if you want to, and crucially, they have knockdown. Whereas Crebain don't. So
all true.
And strength 4.
So Crebain are.
Oh yeah, Crebain are the king of objectives for sure.
Yeah.
Flying, 4 wounds. You can charge them over a line and take out some supports, and even if you charge 2 supports, it's literally impossible for them to kill you in one turn.
What do you put on your Warg Riders? What equipment do you give them?
Probably a shield, maybe some throwing spears if you can afford it.
Yeah.
If for some reason you're planning to just skirt around with them on the fringes, you could give them a bow. I don't know why you'd ever do that. Probably don't do that.
I mean, assuming you move a 6+ 18-inch strength 2 bow is possibly not the way to go.
It's pretty bad. I would say just a shield and maybe throwing spears if you can afford it.
Yep.
Orcs, don't take them.
Yeah.
Not unless you're trying to bulk out your numbers, but even then you're probably taking Wildmen. But you could take a few orcs with spears.
I'd still take Wildman with the Oathmaker over an Orc Captain with orcs in a more Isengard list, personally.
Yeah. I mean, you took orcs in a list, didn't you? You took
but my list,
the themey one.
Yeah,
my list is built around a very bad theme.
Well, the theme was good, just the list wasn't.
The theme's good. I mean, that 700-point list is defeated. 2 games deployed.
Yeah.
We'll ignore the low amount of burn.
Yeah.
Quantify how
Who cares about sample size? All we care about is objective facts.
That is exactly the mantra I live by in life. Dunland Horsemen, they're horse.
They're fine. They're Dunland's only option for cavalry, so you're probably taking some. Unfortunately,
I guess against other cavalry they have some use because of their rule.
They've got a weird "I can kill horses" rule.
Yeah,
but so does a lot of the Dunland stuff.
Yeah,
I think Frida gives them access to that, but I don't know. I'm not convinced.
They're not too expensive, and we'll leave it at that. The Huskarls, they're actually
bit weird.
They're actually quite good though with their little funky weapons.
Because aren't they almost identical stat-wise to Royal Guard? Am I making that? I don't have the book in front of me, but that's how it is in my head.
So they've got bodyguard, and they get +1 to their fight while they're within 3 inches of a Dunland hero, which makes them fight 4.
Yeah.
So still only going up to fight 4. They're strength 4, which is nice.
Yeah.
They're only defense 5.
So
you're still oofing against strength 3.
Yeah, which is like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can. So their weapon is a spear or 2-handed axe. Even if you had a front line of normal dudes, they're all defense 5 anyway. So being in the front or back doesn't matter.
They are, I guess, your only spear access though in the Dunland list.
Are they really? You can't give a spear to a normal guy?
No, I think it's only axe and sword, isn't it, or something?
Yeah,
that feels bad. I mean, the fact that they're only getting +1 fight and it's only 3-inch range is like, just make it 6 inches. Come on.
I still think that you would take them for a backline of spear support.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably. They're just very expensive spears.
But you'd probably only take them in the Legion because otherwise you'd just take an Urukai
Yes.
pike.
Yeah,
Fight
definitely.
for.
Pike is
wouldn't-
cheaper.
You wouldn't take them outside.
A pike is objectively better than this.
Yes.
You don't get bodyguard.
You don't get bodyguard. That's the only thing. But they're cheaper. So
Yes.
Yeah.
and you can't randomly have a 2-handed weapon, which I feel like is a really weird rule for something that's meant to be in the back line. As a model, I feel like they're meant to be your frontline troops, but they've got a spear / 2-handed axe. They should have just made them burly 2-handed and get rid of the spear. That would have been really nice.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty good.
Points. Yeah, but there'd also be Dunland's only. Like, I'd probably take some as Isengard, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that if you're taking out Dunlanding list, you want to bring a spear. I think in the Legion you still take them those spears, even if they are slightly over, and the 2-handed weapon is slightly strange. I think just to avoid the Horde army, which don't have access to spear syndrome, where you have to kind of try and lap around the edge to try and get stuff. It just gives you the ability to do both. You can either surround or you can form the shield wall. So
yeah, lack of spears is really, really shit. I didn't realise that was a problem they had, but now that I can see that, yeah, that's definitely an oof.
Yeah. Should we talk about Crabane?
Yeah, I mean,
20 points, 4 wounds, fly.
Can only get shot on 6s.
They can disable Stalk Unseen, which is situational, but
yeah,
might be useful.
They are really, really, really good. If you're taking Vanilla Isengard, you're definitely always taking at least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I beat OT, didn't I? In the game of literally just by fly 3.
Yeah, he did literally ignore them, but I don't think there was much he could do.
I just scooted them to the very edge of the table, blew them in a straight line, and then just prevented him escaping in that game. So
yeah, they're really good.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah. They're fairly nice models. They're a nightmare to put together though, and they're very easy
together.
To
very expensive. I bought a different kit and just proxied them for cheaper.
Oh, what did you buy?
You know there's a Beastmen kit for Age of Sigmar.
Right.
Which I can't remember the name of. I'll just go on the GW website and find it.
Are they like crows or something?
So it's Endless Spells, Beast of Chaos, £27.50. And you get 3 bases with a 40mm base of crows of some sort.
Oh yeah, they look pretty good actually.
Ravening Direflocks, Spectral Crows. Anyway, it's cheaper to buy this and you end up with just some random extra Age of Sigmar stuff which you can sell on eBay than it is to buy 2 Forge World Crows. And they're still GW legal.
Yeah, true. They look quite nice actually. I think they look more threatening.
More threatening. More like they could actually do 2 attacks at strength 2.
Yeah.
The literal crows that are the actual models.
Yeah.
Which don't look like they do anything.
Crossbows are pretty good.
Crossbows are pretty good. I don't know how I feel about crossbows without being able to move. Personally, I like...
Are you saying they should be able to move?
No, I mean, as in, I personally prefer bows because you can move and shoot.
Oh, interesting.
But
yeah.
I think that because they don't give you a 24-inch bow option, that's where the crossbows then become useful, don't they?
They have to hit a critical mass of numbers, don't they?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've gone for crossbows, you're either just taking enough to sit on objectives and shoot the odd pot shot, or you're taking so many that you're trying to outshoot your opponent, in which case they're coming to you, so you don't need to skirmish against them anyway.
It's a real shame that when they designed that plastic kit, they didn't do like they did everything else: 1/3 shield, 1/3 crossbow, 1/3 pike.
Yeah.
Why do that when you can sell them separately for more money?
This is true. But still, and then weirdly with that plastic kit, they don't actually give you that many pikes. It's just a bit of a weird kit.
Yeah.
There you go. Finally, then. The most interesting models, not including Troll, A troll. Wow. And he gets like an oversized Isengard helmet, which I've always thought was very funny.
Yeah, and a giant shield.
Do you think they have to custom make them? Presumably, there's like a retrofitting team.
Is there like a team of orcs with measuring tapes to like?
Yeah.
To get it fitted.
Because presumably it's quite a special thing, like a troll wanting a shield and a helmet. He probably has to pay extra.
Specialist equipment.
Do you think they pay their soldiers? What do you think they're paid in?
If you read the essay that me and Onod have been reading recently, you'll learn about the command economy nature of some of the
command economy, the political situation of Isengard, and why
it's less interesting than it sounds.
Really?
Mayor's instantly tapped out.
And then moving on to what we actually like, the demo tee, which comes as part of a kit that also gives you some ladders for reasons.
And everybody likes a free ladder.
I'm really intrigued why this became a plastic kit. Why they were like, yes,
ladders.
This very niche special weapon should be put on a kit with some plastic ladders. But I'm glad it is plastic because it makes it a lot cheaper. And you get 2 berserkers in a demo team, and they explode, and they're fun. And this is how Isengard kills Aragorn.
Yeah. Was it only Aragorn that you blew up, or was this? There must have been another model, right?
Yeah, I blew up your banner as well with it.
I thought so because I remember sending him one, and then you compelled Aragorn in, and
then
6, didn't you?
You can also do the slightly funky blow up your own army, except it's more difficult to do now because 2 of your opponents also blow up.
Yeah,
but
which is unfortunate.
You can still do it.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't it like a case that originally when the rules came out, we used to just blow up their entire army?
Just to end the game.
To end the game in certain scenarios, yeah.
Amazing.
Pretty much. And then
it's also like you can no longer kill your own ring wraith by spending their last will, can you? Like that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, not bullshit, but like, didn't feel.
I think that's more fair.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Nuking your own army shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. And then finally, the ballista. It exists. It's good in the Legion.
Yeah.
I don't know if ballistas should be in a skirmish game, but
nope.
I keep saying this, but you have like mummoks and stuff, so
yeah,
I think it's fine.
I don't know if a mummock should be in it really either. Smaug definitely shouldn't.
Yeah, but like, how many times have you seen someone playing Smaug?
Well, no, but the idea that he just exists is ridiculous.
But like, I mean, the justification is you could. Like, people did bring elephants to battles, whereas I don't know how often, like, you would see, this is where it's going to fall down historically, because some people did bring siege weaponry to battles.
Right.
But
Romans would have brought, like,
they did have bolt throwers, didn't they?
They're a lot smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's a discussion for another video.
They're more like the size of the dwarf ballista in SBG.
Yeah.
Anyway, that finishes off the enormous listed models, and I'm sure Mayor's going to have that into something usable.
Oh wait.
In-game pros and cons. They good. They good named. They good standard. And they fight 4, strength 4, defense 5 or 6. Yeah, you guys summarized his first 2 bullet points well, didn't I?
Doesn't quite get to the magical defense 7, but
that's fine though.
You'd have to take dwarves for that.
That's fine. You get good range of profiles. Like you can slot whatever is needed in. The only thing that they're missing is a fight 6 plus hero. But you do have bombs, so you're not unable to
kill them. You can kill their heroes anyway.
Yeah. They are definitely all rounders. Some shared units of Mordor we've got in pros. Sure. Why is that a pro?
I guess you can just...
Those orcs we told you not to bring, they can be brought.
I guess... Oh, God. Yeah, let's just cross that out.
That's getting edited out, isn't it? This is the beauty. No wonder Mare looks so devastatingly handsome and intelligent in all our videos. It's just.
I agree with the excellent legions. They definitely have some of the better legions in the game.
Yeah.
And they are forgiving for a new player. Cons, yeah, you don't have any big heroes, but you do have lots of decent ones.
Yeah.
And the army bonus again doesn't work for some models, but that's most of the time not going to affect you. Good.
But it is something about Isengard that, like, because they are elite and because they are like quite tough, relatively speaking, and with the army bonus, it is actually really hard to like work your way through enough of their troops that they start fleeing. So similar to dwarves, like they're obviously not as high defense, but they do stick around on the table for a really long time.
But they're more killy.
They are more killy.
Yeah. And faster.
And they can move faster, and they have more access to march, and
just better.
Just better. I don't know what I'm doing actually, to be honest.
Just better.
Why do I bother?
Collecting pros and cons. OT can take through these.
Yeah, there's the battle host box, which is cool. You get, here's my memory. You get Saruman and Grima. You get a unit of Urukai, and I think you get a unit of scouts.
You do. It's the best battle host box.
Yeah, I think you get like 600 and something points, which is really good.
The only way it could have been better is if they'd made like Lurtz and Ugluk into a plastic kit and put it in instead. Yeah. I think Saruman, whilst he's nice to have, I think
they went all out the heroes, didn't they? Like with the Witch King and Gandalf. Like I think it's quite interesting the heroes they opted for.
Well, they went for which ones they had in plastic, didn't they?
It's true. Yeah,
so it's just who do we have that we've got a plastic sculpt of? Let's shove them in. You get everyone.
Yeah, they're relatively easy to paint. Although, as we've already said, you can make them a bit more complicated if you want to. You can get fancy painting, which is cool.
Non-metallic metal.
Yeah, I know. I was doing a bit.
Just leave the bit in. Cut out the explanation. Kids, keep going.
There's a wide range of different themed armies. I mean, that's probably hinting at the Legion. Like, Scouts are fine. There's Dunland, Assault, whatever. Like, whatever you want, really. I mean, or you can just throw together a load of Isengard and it'd still be probably pretty good. There's a wide variety of models, but at the same time, a lot of them are interchangeable between the Legion. So as long as you build up like a decent number of the core models, i.e. Scouts and Urukai Warriors, you should be able to pivot between them pretty easily. And as we saw earlier, quite a few of the heroes especially are metal, which is fine. Like I think metal and fine crap models are like, they're not the worst thing in the world, but they aren't as desirable as the plastic kit.
I would say that there's only, I think Legion-wise, only two of them really share the same models. Whereas if you're looking at something like Rohan, like all you really need is a different hero, and all your warriors are basically the same. If you've just got all mounted stuff, apart from the Helm's Deep Legion, which I'd argue is very different, every Legion just involves having a lot of cavalry.
But fortunately, thanks to dismounts, you will still have those models.
That is true. So actually, you probably could take basically every Rohan. Every Rohan list just involves Rohan.
The only one where you need special stuff is the one with the shit little forest man whose names I've forgotten. OT, help me, Boises, thank you.
Yeah.
And,
whereas Isengard, like, every Legion is completely different.
The Ewoks. Yeah, except for Lurtz and Ugluks, which, as we know, people are definitely going to switch between. That will definitely happen. Definitely.
So we've got some example lists.
We do, yeah.
That I've mocked up. These are all designed to be scalable. So I tried to make a list for each points level where you're using up at least some, if not all, of a box of stuff. So for the first one, we've got a not very themed Lurtz and Ugluk list. Lurtz, Ugluk, one pack of crossbows, a pack of warriors, and a pack of berserkers. And you're using up pretty much everything apart from the warriors. But I just think it's a solid list.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of crossbows, so you're probably going to be going to them. But the crossbows you do have can just take map control, and You get 2 models with strike, 6 might. I think it's fine for 400 points.
Indeedy.
Then we've got a 650. So now you're going to have to buy the Urukai command pack. So this is the Legion list. So you've already got your warriors, your berserkers, and your crossbows. Then you're buying a couple ballistas and a siege bomb. So this is a very competitive list. You've got a commander with a shield. You've got a captain with a crossbow, so you can do like a crossbow conversion with your command pack. Just a bunch of warriors and dudes. 37 models at 650 with 2 ballistas and a siege bomb is a lot of stuff to have to deal with.
How many friends will you lose if this was yours?
All your friends.
All your friends. Correct.
Yeah. Don't play people you haven't met with this list.
And don't play people you have met with either.
Yeah, unless you're going to like a GBHL 100, I would say.
Then it's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anything goes at a GBHL 100.
Yeah, and then 1,000 lists.
You have to deal with a bear, so you know.
Yeah, you got to deal with it somehow. We've got Saruman Agrina, the command pack, Sharku, some Heroes of Dunland, some crossbows, warriors, berserkers, some wild men, some Crabane, and some Warg Riders. I just wanted like a...
It's a lot of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Only 50 warriors, only 50 model count.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is quite low at 1,000.
Yeah, but you're getting...
Taking Saruman.
It's on the elite side, but you're taking Saruman, you're taking some berserkers, loads of warriors, and you've got a demo team in there as well. So...
And you've got MVP Grima.
Yeah.
And some actual Crabane.
Yes. Half man, half crow. Yeah. No, I like that.
So them's the lists.
It does stuff. Good. Wow. Another episode complete.
Nailed it.
And we're not ever releasing this, right? So that we continue the meme that
the
Isengard list is always there.
Yeah, we'll upload it, but we'll just leave it on private forever.
Yeah. Fuck them. We'll put a screenshot to show that it exists.
Yeah.
To publish.
Yeah.
Because they don't deserve this.
And keep the full audio file, so when we finally finish doing this, we can just release the whole thing raw.
Unedited. Yeah.
No visuals.
No visuals.
Just a black screen. Leave in all the name drops.
With a crow.
A crow just slowly getting larger in the centre of the page.
Yeah. What the people want.
Yeah. Allegedly. It's me! Sharku!
Sharky? What's he doing here?
I was riffing.
Should
we talk about something else now?
No.
I think we've lost momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the loo.
Are we doing an out? Should we do an outro?
Yeah, let's do an outro.
Can you, instead of the outro, just leave in me saying I'm going to the toilet?
Brilliant.
And just end it there.
No, let's do an outro. At least I'll have the option.
And that was Before You Buy Isengard. Your guests today were Mare. Oh, okay.
Kill me. Oh my god. Jesus. I saw that coming. I actually was like, I know what's going to happen here.
Goodbye, everyone.
I see.
I'm going to the toilet.
I'll come with you. End it there.